Donegal Airport looks beautiful in the tourist brochures, but beware, it rains a lot there. Our international flight today from Northern to Southern Ireland routes directly west and is only 25 miles. Neither tower has radar service, and the controlled airspace en route is delegated to Derry. Although I could have flown directly overhead Donegal and then the full IFR procedure, I chose to self-position from the north, hoping for some views of the coast as we approached. City of Derry Airport offers daily commercial flights and is very receptive to GA visitors. I felt very welcomed there. The weather on our departure was not raining, cloud base around 2,500.
Golf Romeo Bravo, ready departure on reaching Bravo. Golf Romeo Bravo, roger, enter back track runway 26.
As you can see, the takeoff was a little bit turbulent, and as we get closer to the base of the clouds at 2,500 feet, it also gets a little turbulent, but in the clouds themselves there wasn't much problem. Because I'm flying outside controlled airspace on IFR, I get a procedural service, and then as I enter the controlled airspace, it becomes an approach control service because there is no radar facility available.
Golf Romeo Bravo, it's a procedural service. Procedural service, Golf Romeo Bravo. Oh, that's correct. When you enter controlled airspace, it will become an approach control service until you clear that controlled airspace.
After a few minutes in cloud, you think you might be about to pop out, but you can never quite tell when you're going to pop out into glorious sunshine like this, and whether it's just going to be a glimpse and you'll be back in the clouds again, or whether you truly are well above the cloud base. So there's a bit of transition here. We are in the lee of some mountains, and therefore the weather is likely to be causing some slightly higher cloud base on this side of the mountains. And as we progress further, the weather does indeed, and the top of the clouds does indeed reduce. And I'm hoping to be able to see the ground, especially during my approach. Now, around this point, I was asked to change to Shannon Control, which is the area controller for IFR in this region, but I couldn't raise them, and after reverting back to Derry, I was put in contact directly with Donegal Tower, and both towers had a radio coverage that was more than adequate at this level. I chose to self-position on the localizer, routing to the north and leaving my descent late, not just to ensure being clear of terrain, but also to remain above the clouds as long as convenient. That did lead to a more rapid descent to reach the platform altitude prior to the final approach fix at 6 miles. As you can read from the plate, this is a localizer only approach with no vertical guidance. So you set up a glide descent at a rate based on your ground speed and checking the altitude at each mile. Minima is 340 feet above ground and RVR is 1100 meters. As you can see, we're sort of in and out of clouds a little bit, giving you the deceptive idea that you might be able to see the ground or the airport in advance. And initially we can see the ground, but there is a cloud directly ahead, and that obscured the airport until we were a little closer. We can see the runway lights now quite clearly, and landing after the greens, it was in fact a fairly straightforward touchdown. The only trouble was, after we landed, it absolutely rained on us and we got totally soaked putting the cover on before we retired to the airport terminal. It's a very nice airport, and the area around it is really great scenery. There's some fabulous stone and tourist attractions to see, and we stayed in a lovely hotel just a mile or so away.